Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of The WunderkindShow. Today's second topic, JK Dobbins. You know, it just means to be one of these days. Remember that old song, just one of them days, when a girl comes through. It's one of them days. It's definitely one of those days. Because you go through and you get the news about Zay. You get the news about, people not being there. Then you get Harbaugh addressing the media about JK Dobbins. Now, here's the thing. I understand where JK is coming from. I knew that this was going to happen and this was going to come to a head because he was going into a contract year. Facts are facts. People got mad at me for saying that, but now you're looking at it and you're like, oh, well, he's really not that good. And I'm hearing this from fans, stuff like that. You got to understand something. Derrick Henry is not walking through that door. Dalvin Cook is not walking through that door. Christian McCaffrey is not walking through that door. Austin Eckler is not walking through that door. Jonathan Taylor is not walking through that door. You get where I'm coming from? JK, when he came back for the end of the season, was the best running back in football. And then he gets to the playoff game, and they barely give him any touches. So he's mad. He's looking at it like, bro, you guys have tanked my value. Forget my injuries. You haven't given me the opportunity to be truly successful. So JK's at his home, mad at him and his agent talking about something. Oh. Why? Because you guys have ruined his money. And remember, the running back position is already a position that has been ultimately devalued in the entire NFL. You have a handful of guys, probably 2 or 3, that get paid really well, and the rest of them are toss-away commodities within a year, maybe 2, lucky 3. And the running backs know this. So you have to hit the ground running. No pun intended. You have to hit that ground and get moving. And with the Ravens, they didn't allow him to do that. So now, because he didn't get a chance to do that, then on top of it, injury happened. There's not much. Listen, what does he have? 1,500 yards over 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. Is that like what he has altogether? It's somewhere like that. So he's mad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little clip from what Harbaugh said at the press conference. And then, we'll break it down what he says and how the Ravens, through the Ravens lenses, how they're looking at this, okay? So without further ado, let's get this party started.
So nobody knows we want him back, but who knows the future? So nobody knows the future. If somebody can tell me whether JK is going to be back next year, I'd like to know.
I'd like to know
too.
Certain
about it, but who knows anything about anything? I know JK, when he gets back here, will be determined, excited. He will work hard. His energy will be high. I know he'll be in great shape because I know who he is as a person, and I expect great things out of him this year.
Okay, so listen, they said they want him back. That's Harbaugh speak. Just for anybody that's new to this, that's very much Harbaugh speak right now. So here's the thing. The Ravens are looking at this like, look, you've been injured. You have yet to have a 1,000-yard receiver, regardless of what you think we did to you, right? You're under contract, and if you don't want to come for the non-mandatory stuff, fine. Just make sure you're here for the mandatory, because the Ravens are looking at it like you're replaceable. They're not looking at JK Dobbins as being irreplaceable. Like, there's certain running backs that you just got to give the bag to. Christian McCaffrey, look at Saquon. Saquon right now is playing on his 5th-year option because injuries robbed him of a lot of years, right? Unless you're, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, those level of, running backs where the entire offense is built, circulated around them, then you're not getting that money. How many running backs do you know have actually been paid in the NFL in the last 10 years and been paid actually well? Teams are not investing money nor draft capital into running backs because a lot of these teams are picking up running backs in the 7th round, 6th round, whatever round, and those running backs are running roughshod over the league. Like, people are picking up 5th and 6th round running backs that are becoming the stars of teams. And you already know, because the running back, just like the linebacker position, is viable to taking the most hits out of anybody on the field. Their shelf life is max, most of the time, on average, for even the good ones, 5 years. 5 years. You got the rookie year, the year after that. Their third year is usually their most dominative, right? Their most dominative year, numbers-wise, statistic-wise. Some of them it's their fourth. And then, guess what? After your 4 years, you get 5th-year option. If not, you get franchise tagged. If you're still playing halfway decent, you get franchise tagged again, and then you get let go. That's the name of the game. And a franchise tag bites because the top 3 running backs, I mean, it's not what it should be, right? So they're like, well, we'll take the average of that and give it to you for 1 year, and if you get hurt, well, we don't got to resign you. But you still have to come and report and run and be totally committed to our cause. So it's a lose-lose for running backs. I truly am going to, I told to somebody, the running back position is going to become something of a scarcity in college football because, I mean, who's going to want their kid to become a running back? If you're already taking a crap load of hits in high school, taking a crap load of hits in college, then you're taking a crap load of hits in the NFL. So the amount of hits are just accumulating over time. By the time you get to the NFL, you've already lapped the competition and how many hits you've taken. You get where I'm coming from? So parents might step in and be like, I don't want my son being a running back. If he's not a wide receiver, if he's not a quarterback, if he's not a cornerback, if he's not a DN, they don't want him to play. That's probably what's going to end up happening. But, I mean, from the Ravens' point of view, I get where they're coming from. You know? It's just a bad situation. I knew that this was going to come to a head. Especially because if y'all look in between the lines, that's what he was mad about during the playoff game when he was just like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even give me no touches because he felt like, bro, this was my breakout moment and you guys took it from me. I didn't even get a chance to be the player that I know I can be. But like I said, you know, Gus is back there and stuff like that. He's going to report. He's going to. Because why? Because it doesn't benefit him if he doesn't. I feel sorry for him, you know. And a lot of people don't. And I get it, you know. But at the same time, I feel him. I feel where he's coming from, you know. They don't get a lot of time to make money. And if you start, you know, jocking around with a running back's career, before you know it, in a blink of an eye, they're done. They're out of the league. And whatever they've made has to sustain them for the rest of their life. And I don't know about you, a lot of these guys play in places where there is state tax. Not everybody plays in Florida. Not everybody plays in Texas. You get where I'm coming from? Where there's no state tax. And there's still jock tax. You get where I'm coming from? Like, there's a lot of tax. So a $5 million deal in most places, let's say you sign a $5 million deal for 3 years, right? 3 years. Let's say even 4 years, right? After taxes, they're barely seeing $400,000 out of it a year. Because remember, you got to pay your agent, jock tax, state tax, federal tax. So there's nothing really left over. And I don't know about y'all, but especially now in this economy right now, dollar isn't as strong as it used to be. It's taking a lot of those dollars to buy stuff. So once again, I get where JK is coming from. He's frustrated. He's like, bro, and And now they're going into an offense where they're going to be looking to throw and air it out. Look, if I'm JK, I'm saying I got to be a part of the pass game. I said this before. Everything I said is for a reason. Remember, guys, that's why I said what I said. I said they're going to make him a weapon in the pass game. And if he's a part of the pass game, I think JK gets paid by either us or somebody else. Or the Ravens tag him. I really see so. Because if he comes out and rushes, let's say, for 1,200 yards, but he gets 600 or 700 or 800 yards receiving, that's 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Hey, that's not easy to go out there and get. Who knows? The Ravens, because you know how business is, they might see him being able to do that and pull him out a couple times like, hey. We don't know how all the business behind the scenes are done, but we know that business in the NFL is cruel. That's a fact. So, I'm on the edge of saying, look, I hope he reports. I hope he's there. I want him to be a part of the Super Bowl run. I think there's going to be a Super Bowl run this season, and I think he'll be a part of the reason why we're on a Super Bowl run. And let me tell you something right now. If we're on a Super Bowl run, if JK Dobbins ever hears this, if we go on a Super Bowl run with him as the lead back, he's going to make his money regardless. Because, for one, he'll be a Super Bowl champion, right? That's number one, means he got a ring. A ring in media equates to dollars, right? And if he has a great season, he'll be a guy, right, that's a Super Bowl champion, coming off a magnificent season as a bona fide weapon, and let the bidding wars begin. So either way, he's going to get paid. I think what he's doing, he's just trying to keep safe. You know what I mean? You see that people are getting injured at OTAs. I think he's trying to play his cards right. But let's see what happens. I know the Ravens want him back. Of course they do. He's a playmaker. When the ball is in his hand, he's a baller. Ballers just don't fall out of trees. Even from the running back position, finding a legit baller is not easy. But the Ravens got one. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But listen, man, this day has been just bad news on top of bad news on top of bad news. You know what I mean? But hopefully everything clears up and we can have a better day tomorrow. And I believe next week, mandatory mini camp starts. So we'll get a big time view to see if he's there. And I think he'll be there. OBJ will be there. All these guys will be there. So we're going to get to see what happens. So stay tuned, because you're going to be getting your content from the Wunderkind Show. And that's another episode of the Wunderkind Show. Thank you all for watching. You know we have fun and we make jokes, but everything that we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. And if you leave a comment, just be respectful to people that might disagree with you down there, and we have no problems. And if you would like to donate to this channel to help it grow and to buy new equipment and stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR code. The QR code is to a Cash App. The Cash App is located in every description of every video that we do, and the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Also available is the Patreon. If you want behind the scenes access to the Wunderkind Show, to me, sweepstakes for merch, fantasy football, Discord, that's how you do it. And questions from subscribers. You know what I mean? So if you want the extra access, go out there and become a patron. $5 a month. It's not a lot, and it's great, especially when the season starts, when there's going to be so much storylines, so much news to report on, and so much chatter going on. It's going to be jumping, and you're going to want to be a part of the Discord of The Wunderkind Show. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This show is Nitro signing off, and as always, you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp.